And so I figured that if I was going to lose my hair, that I might as well just get ahead of it, cut them off, and stop talking about sister locks because it became too painful to talk about. So today I want to share about what's been going on with my sister locks, my alopecia, and me. And speaking of back to sister locks, I had taken quite a break from filming and talking about them, as you know, if you are someone who has came here because of my sister locks content. One of the reasons why it felt more comfortable for me to not talk about them is my alopecia. My CCCA has flared up something crazy this year, and I have had such a rough year. Just trying to stay on top of my alopecia symptoms so that they didn't go to a really bad place. I got COVID the day after my birthday. I was tested positive, and this was one of the worst bouts with COVID that I've had. I was sick for weeks, and it took me quite a long time to recover. So after I started feeling better, the lingering symptom that I had was my scalp. I had gotten really used to my CCCA triggers and how that makes my scalp feel, knowing when my scalp is feeling irritated, knowing when it's dry, knowing when it's dirty, and all of that. But this year, it just went somewhere crazy. My inflammation was insane. My scalp pain, it moved. The area expanded and moved beyond what I'm used to. I had this deep pain in my scalp, this deep itchiness that I just could not get on top of. It made me feel like I had this obsession with just scratching my scalp, even to the point where my loctician had noticed that I had some breakage, which really scared me. And so when I went to my dermatologist to talk to her about it, she made the decision to put me on steroid shots, like immediately. They are not for the faint at heart. They do not feel great. They're just something that you're just doing what you have to do, thinking about the end result in mind. And so I had a 6 month session of the scalp shots. I actually have gone through 5 of them. I have the sixth one that's going to be coming up. And so I have this year had to completely revamp and rethink through, how do I take care of my sister locks? How do I take care of my scalp? How do I keep it all happy? And I just kind of was convinced the symptoms were so bad, especially with me starting to experience some breakage. I thought that my hair was going to fall out. And so I figured that if I was going to lose my hair, that I might as well just get ahead of it, cut them off, and stop talking about sister locks because it became too painful to talk about. I'm not one of those people who everybody feels how they want to feel, but some people we know after they've had them for a while, they're over it and they're ready to do something new. That is not me. The more I've had my sister locks, I have become more and more obsessed with them. I love them. To think of losing them literally makes me feel ill. And so this has been my journey, kind of my private dilemma that I have dealt with this year. I've been researching alopecia and wigs and how do you wear a wig every day and how does that work and how do you keep your scalp clean and with the wig. And I have not enjoyed all that research, but sometimes when my anxiety takes over, I get into these research modes. And it was me just trying to prepare because I didn't know if what my dermatologist came up with me, if her treatment plan was going to be able to work if we were too far down the road. It took months and months to calm this flare down. I've been crying, I've been praying, mixed with some worry, some good old fashioned worry, and just like I said, revamping my whole routine. And while I was doing that, my hair, as we have gotten back to get my scalp to a good place, they've gotten longer and longer, which I had a hard time enjoying this year because again, I figured if they're gonna just fall out, start falling out, maybe I need to like emotionally detach from them. But so even just filming this video is making me stop and think about the fact that I've had so much length that has just kind of kicked in for me this year, where my sister locks look like a lot of the weave styles I used to wear, the curly weave styles, which I never conceived that they would look as good as they look now, which sparks excitement and fear at the same time. It's a cycle of excitement and fear. and praying to calm myself down, going back into a state of peace, being excited, and then being afraid again. That has been my journey in the treadmill that I've been on this year. So I do have to really remind myself that even if something does hypothetically happen with my hair, I am not my hair, right? I had to say that. But if I ever had to pick another journey, I would, but I don't want to do that anytime soon. And based on everything that we've done this year, and I'm saying we because my derm intervention has been critical here, and me being really disciplined, the last couple months, my hair has just really kind of turned around in terms of a lot of my sensations, my ongoing pain, even the thickness. I just got a retie earlier this week, and my loctician said that she can tell a difference with my density in my scalp, that it looks a lot thicker than how it usually looks. And that to me, I mean, is like somebody give me $1 million. You don't know how happy that made me because I have been working so hard this year just to maintain a good status quo of health with my hair and with my locks. I've had to take a lot of time off work just to go to the dermatologist. Them shots ain't cheap. It's been a lot I've been invested in just to kind of get to this point, switching up my entire routine in addition to the medical intervention piece. So it's been a lot of pieces of the puzzle that I've had to put together to get here. But I'm very happy to be here, loving how my hair looks, loving the length, even though I have the type of Sisterlocks journey where I have to be so careful and so particular about everything that I do with my hair, even including covering my hair in the sun, because the sun actually initiates a lot of the inflammation that I feel. When I feel that, I know that's a bad feeling, and something that I'm doing is irritating my CCCA, and I have to stop. And so I've learned those triggers and really been working around them. And yet and still, through the grace of God, I'm still here by miracle. I'm telling you all about my progress. I still have my Sisterlocks. I'm still in love with them. I get compliments all the time, and I'm so used to them. It always catches me off guard. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. Because it's just a part of my body. I'm not, my hair is a part of my body, but I get compliments all the time, and which makes me feel really good. I don't go looking for them, but when I get them, I do appreciate them. And I'm learning that with healing, sometimes it's not loud. Sometimes it's something that happens a little bit every day. And that's how it's been with me. So when you're walking in peace, walking in God's peace, everything is not perfect all the time. Everything hasn't been perfect for me. And I don't feel that I have perfectly walked in his peace either. I've had a tug and war between God's peace and my own anxiety. But yet and still, through God's grace, I am still here and I am happy to be here. And so just wanted to check in to let you all know I'm going to have more Sisterlocks videos coming. I want to be open and, this is a big part of my life. So I want to still be vulnerable and share that with you all. I get a lot of messages asking for advice about Sisterlocks and just questions about Sisterlocks in general. Everybody's situation is different, but I'm always happy to share what is working for me, which is what I've done on this channel for many years. And so, after really thinking about it this year and praying about it, I am going to continue just to share the very realness and rawness of my journey. So I will have some more fresh content coming where I can get into deeper detail about what's going on with my locks and how am I taking care of them and all those fun things that I have, usually talked about that you all have been used to hearing from me. So if you are out there and you're struggling with alopecia, you are not alone. Hey, I'm right there with you. It's a daily struggle. And I get frustrated because a lot of times, when people think of someone with alopecia, they think of like the more advanced cases, but there are a lot of us out there like me who are in an early stage and you're trying to keep yourself in that early stage. The alopecia I have is basically permanent, but what I can do is to suspend the progress of it. And so I am always actively working to suspend the progress of my alopecia. So I have people tell me all the time, alopecia, you don't have alopecia. Why would I make it up? What sense does that make? I mean, seriously, so many things I could talk about. But, hey, maybe it's a good thing that I don't look like I have alopecia. But hey, I certainly do. And, I'm happy to keep talking about it to just, bring awareness and just let you know that you're not alone. I always knew when I was younger that as I got older, I would mentor women. That's always been a part of my life dream and destiny. And so I figured this year was a great time to pivot to that, to talk about relationships, to talk about my Christianity. I've been married for over 15 years and I have always wanted to share that part of myself with women to help them. But I'd be lying if I said that I didn't miss talking about Sisterlocks, talking about makeup, sharing my crochet projects that I'm working on, and just sharing my creative side, which is such a big part of me. And honestly, my family, including my husband, have encouraged me to just think more broadly about what I post and what I share, since I do have so many different sides of myself. So I've realized this year I don't have to just choose one version of myself. I can show all these different parts of me, talking about love and marriage, talking about sister locks, talking about makeup, talking about crochet and my other creative endeavors. There's always something going on in my brain. And so what you'll see coming out from me is just going to be reflective of all of that. So that's Joy Speaks Love. It's really a little bit of all of me, because in real life, you can't just separate yourself into all these neat little boxes. I have all these different parts of myself that I'm excited and happy to share. It just makes me think about what I talked about in the Aisha Curry video. You know, we all have these different parts of ourselves. So you don't have to pick just one part of yourself. I have lots of different parts. So you'll be seeing a lot of the different parts of me as I continue to roll out my new content. So thanks for being along for the journey. I appreciate you all. If you have any questions, let me know and stay tuned. More videos coming soon. Take care. Bye.